You keep getting taller though. You keep moving your camera because I had us. Now I'm having to do the whole.
Are you still using your phone?
Yeah, I could drop like $500 on a camera that says it's going to work, or I could just use my phone, which works. I think at some point, and of course, will see this. We should both drink and just not stop because he always does that slurp sound on us. Yeah. So we should just be like,
I don't have anything to say.
Chug, chug, chug. Oh, that's better. I had to fart. I did not. I might have.
I can smell it from Ohio. You need to change your diet.
I need to change my diapers. What I need to change?
We're not getting into that kind of level of kink on this show.
Be good for the numbers, though.
Would it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You know, there's a rumor out there.
What's the rumor? Super attractive. It's super attractive.
I'm not going to share that one. There's a rumor out there that the more clients you have, the faster your revenue grows.
Do you think that's true?
For the sake of the show, I'm going to say I will maybe take the side that it is true. But before anybody takes any sides, Nick, what do the people have to do?
It's really important for Carl's self-esteem that you like and you subscribe and you comment, because if you don't, he cries to me and I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be a part of it. I hate this as much as everybody in the audience does, but I get an extra because he's sobbing on the phone.
I tell Nick they don't like what we're doing, and Nick goes, well, then they can. And I'm like, Nicholas Petrosky. Oh my God.
Just trying to give the people what they want, Carl.
Just when I thought I didn't agree with you. You know, Nick, we need him to like and subscribe.
I don't know if you can do that on YouTube. I don't know what the rules are.
We'll find out.
This isn't monetized, is it?
So let's clarify this question.
Yeah. Put some parameters around it.
As a revenue generation strategy, getting more clients, not more work from current clients, new clients, like going after new clients and just growing your client base as broad and deep as you can to increase revenue. We didn't say profit. We said revenue.
All about revenue. All about revenue growth.
It's all about that R.
I mean, it seems on the surface, it seems like it doesn't work. It seems hard to do. It seems like it takes a lot of effort.
I mean, if you could get more clients, wouldn't you just get more clients?
I would say no. No, I wouldn't.
Expand.
More clients requires more operational complexity. It's harder to do. Just think of the number of clients, number of accounts that you have a PM working on. You know, we like to guide to like 5 to 8 accounts. That's the max you really want to do. You don't want one PM stretched across 30 accounts. That sucks. So as you grow and as you add more clients, you have a support structure and a production structure, and all of the people that deliver the value that you sell to those new clients, that all has to increase. And that increase in complexity snowballs. It's not a one-to-one. As you grow, it incrementally gets larger. That's why we see margins get lower as agencies grow.
Now, Nick, if I were to take your side, I would say it also screws your quality.
I think that's very true.
Your quality starts to fall apart.
I think that's very true.
Even if you do grow your team to accommodate the new client work that's coming in, these are new people. You don't know them as well as you knew the original team. And some of that original team is going to start looking for other work because they don't understand what's happening. It feels like we're just bringing in everything we can. This was not anything we ever talked about. And there are 4 new people in Slack whose names I don't know.
Right. No, that's exactly it. It's in that's all that symptom. That's like a more eloquent way of saying that complexity, right? That's a more detailed way of saying it. Like it just gets larger and harder to deal with as you get more clients coming in the door and more balls that you have to keep in the air while you're juggling them.
Yep. No, I agree on that. But I'm gonna flip the script.
Flip away.
Flip it. You also don't want to have too few clients. Like 0 is bad. 0 is bad, but I would say less than 5. is like, we backed our heels up at 5.
Did you?
Yeah, because I mean, we were trying to keep it. I mean, just like picking stocks in the market or whatever. You don't want all the eggs, one basket, all that bullshit. You get to this point where if one client goes on hold and they were a major client, now you're sitting there looking at each other. Or if you get to a situation where, like this happened to us, one client starts to be dominant and really big, and it's super seductive because you love the work and you're expanding it out, and they just have money, and the money's not as important as the other stuff. And then you kind of don't service the other clients as well because it doesn't seem to matter. And then one day they wake up and go, I think we're done.
Yeah.
And then you're done.
No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, to put some parameters around it, we used to, I don't think we asked it this year, but in that state of digital services survey that we do, we asked how many clients you gain every year and how many clients you usually work with. And the typical number was obviously like standard size of a digital agency in those surveys was like 25-ish employees. Number of clients was less than 20, and they would gain maybe 10 to 12 a year total. Like you're thinking about adding one client a month at an agency that's growing. So we're not talking about this thing where you got to go out and think about throwing a million new cold emails out there and trying to get 500 new clients every year. Like it's not how it works.
Back to the bringing in as many clients as you can.
Yeah.
The other side of that, along with you're just going to not be able to keep up. If you can succeed at it, you're probably also lowering your rate at some point, because otherwise everybody would have the perfect number of clients. It's not like that. You have to find some incentive. Maybe you're just great at one thing and you go after that and you get more clients. But then to your point, if you do scale the team to support it, then you're going to have some folks you don't know as well. But the other thing is, some of these, when you have a lot of clients, you're going to have more emergencies. And those emergencies are going to take attention away from other clients. And so the quality of the relationship starts to deteriorate as well.
Yeah, I love that perspective. Like I came at it from that like PM perspective. That AM perspective is huge, because that's that spot where agencies really grow. Like fostering those relationships, making stuff better, doing stuff that builds those relationships stronger beyond just your point of contact there. That's hard to do if you're spreading an AM over a bunch of different accounts. Like that ain't it. What else you got?
All right. What about cash flow?
I think you can run into issues. It's less of a concern than the complexity stuff. Like in my opinion, I don't have data to back that one up, but from what I've seen, you're not gonna, like, if your billing is in line and you're pre-billing accounts a little bit and you're doing stuff the right way and you're not getting like 60, 90 days overdue, you're gonna be okay. One thing goes bad, maybe you're gonna have some issues. Maybe.
Well, but the other side of it is growing costs money, right? Because we're talking about this. You're going to have recruiting issues. You're going to lose some people from the team. You're going to have to backfill. So you're going to have all kinds of instability. I mean, if we really want to talk about the word, I think it's instability.
Yeah.
Like when you start looking at bringing in more clients, fragility.
Fragility is what I used like 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. It's instability. It's growing that like, this is really going to break really easily.
And we don't want fragility. We want tranquility.
Ooh, you're the poet. Look out.
I know it. So how should people grow? I mean, I know what I think. Do you believe that if you're not growing, you're dying? That's the real myth under here.
That's tough. Like, to an extent, yes. There's so many things going against you standing still in an agency. If you're the reason that agencies exist is because you can do something that the brands can't. You can implement something, you can create something that they can't. They're not standing still. They're constantly looking at that line item that is your agency and going, can we do that in-house? Guaranteed there's an executive looking at that and saying that every single time you send them an invoice. They're not standing still. So if you are just like, I'm just going to chill here, I'm not going to get any kind of like growth through new clients or growth in headcount or growth in ability or specialization, Like, yeah, you're losing track just because the world's moving past you.
Yeah, I think it gets to also realizing you're going to have client relationships that end.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so if you're not growing, you are asking to shrink. I think the other part of this, when we start looking at it, is you have to overbook. Like, so many people get to a point where like, we're at capacity. I don't want to hurt the team. Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at the airlines, and yet frustrates us as customers. But what do? We keep going back.
Yeah.
But they overbook. Why? Because they know people are going to cancel, and they would rather be busier and hit some bumps than have available capacity they can't fill, because they are truly, they have an expiration date on their value, right? Like if the plane is left and I get to the airport, there's no value there. It's not going to do any good. You got to be there on time. It's a little bit different for agencies, but I think that's the other part of this is it's not just about growing. It's about not pumping the brakes when you should be slamming on the gas. And that's the other side that I think holds people back.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I look at it like there's that archetype. The more I think about this, the more it falls into like that two archetypes. You have a factory that you're going to do commoditized work and you're going to do it cheap and you're going to get low margins, but you're going to do it for a ton of people. You're going to have 500, 800 clients. Mm-hmm. They might be tiny micro businesses, but that's a thing. For that archetype, yes, I think you invest in that. Go out, get a lot of clients because you need it. You need to make up volume basically because your pricing is so razor thin. Your margins are so razor thin.
Like the change bank.
Yeah, exactly. But most agencies don't want to be factories. They don't want to operate that way. Like, think about all the discourse in this industry. It's all like, how do I increase my pricing? How do I increase value? Like, they want to operate as consultancies, and that's a very different thing. That's a very different kind of mindset. Those are the ones where you need 10 new clients a year, regardless of your size. You don't need 500 clients under your logos on your website.
Let's put a nail in this coffin. What do you say?
Yeah, I think
you put a nail in it.
I think it's time.
Here's the final death blow that growing is going to increase revenue. Nick, who performs better, specialists or generalists?
It's got to be specialists.
We already had that episode. I don't know if you watched it, Nick, but yes, mic drop, boom. But so if you're bringing in as many clients as you can, which is what we're talking about, we're not talking about, you are not being selective. You are just saying, we need to grow and we need to grow fast.
Right.
You're making yourself a generalist.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say that adds some stability because different things in our world happen and suddenly healthcare or hospitality or education or whatever is like off the table. But when you become a generalist at the level, the clients that you bring in that are okay with you being a journalist are usually going to have less. They're not looking for that shop that can really push them over the top. They're looking for that checklist shop that can just update the thing and get the hell out of their way.
And when a vendor, right?
The dreaded V word. Yes, sir.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody, Nick. I think this was a slam dunk.
It was really easy. From all the data that we've gathered, it's just not the way to grow. It's not the way most shops want to be. And I don't think about
grow, but be selective. Be
selective. Absolutely.
Don't take whatever comes in. Don't overwork the team, but also don't hit the brakes when you think you're at capacity. That's when you've got to find more.
You need a waiting list.
Absolutely. Velvet rope.
Sorry, can't help you for 3 months. Busy.
Nick, is that it?
I think that's it. This was a quick one, and we need these every now and then, right?
We didn't call each other names.
We can work together.
I didn't mess anything up, saying stuff I shouldn't have. We'll see how it goes. If people like the agreeable too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we start drinking before the next one.
We weren't. No. All right, Nick. Well, I will see you back here at a time to be determined.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Absolutely. I'm Nightwing. He's Batman. Bye, everybody.
Bye.